All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music, real issues in real time for real people just like you and just like me. So Paul Stanley from Kiss, you know, the End of the Road tour, the thing that's been postponed because both Paul and Gene had the thing after they both did the thing. And, you know, Paul Stanley talking about how he was really, really sick. Well, yesterday on Twitter, he posted what looks to be like a Frankenstein monster zombie looking picture. And he wrote, "They say I had mild the thing, but I felt like this," meaning he felt like the Frankenstein zombie looking guy. And of course, fans chimed in. It was light, so it was less bad because you're, you had someone poke you with a sharp object. And other people said, well, why do the thing? It's not going to go away. You have to look at other things through our history, right? That haven't gone away after they've developed all of these so-called miracles that if you just get poked with a sharp object, you'll be great. You'll, and none of that works, or it's not guaranteed to work. It never, look, folks, it was never, this is the other thing people are forgetting. It was never guaranteed to work before. This is less efficacious, if that's possible, than the stuff they would do yearly. They would suggest it wasn't mandatory. Maybe in some jobs, people were told that they had to do it. But again, there were exemptions that you could do. Now they're blocking exemptions. Can't get the medical exemption, can't get the religious exemption. So anyway, Paul Stanley making the case for how this isn't working. He didn't say it that way, but posting that picture and telling everybody how, here's what they're continuing to do. This is the only thing they have left, is that Paul Stanley is still above ground. I mean, he's not going to tell you from these people, if they were on their deathbed, they would not tell you not to do the thing. They would say, well, if I do die, right, if I don't make it, I will suffer less on the way out. This is what they'll do. And, for the greater good, you'll hear this all the time, this will protect a lot of people, so you should just do it. It didn't work for me, but it's going to work for you and everybody else around you. It's all they have left. And I'm not sure if they want to keep going down the road. Now, they're talking about doing multiple pokes with sharp objects for those who, are compromised, for those who apparently this isn't working for, or it wore off. Because the natural version of it, you have like natural light over here, which is naturally brewed, and not the tastiest beer, but it's natural light. All right. And this is what I have. I have a 12-pack of natural light. And somebody over here has some synthetic brew where there's chemicals and additives and things in there that shouldn't be in there, are being told, hey, this is safe and effective. Drink this, take this, it'll be great. And I've got my clean, natural brew, which, I had on my own. I didn't need anyone to poke me with any sharp objects. I just went through the process, and I understand the fear, because the fear is out there every day. The fear doesn't go away. The news media, once they start to hear that people are fighting this or doing this on their own, or, there's this thing that happened in Oklahoma. I don't know if you heard about that, where all of this fake news went out. Rolling Stone, by the way, was part of that, but at least Rolling Stone did a retraction. But apparently the news outlet that put this out, where the horse medicine, I was talking about this before. They were saying that people were ODing on the horse medicine. Look, Americans, they do research. If it's your own health, right, aren't you going to do everything to figure this out? But it's weird. They're telling you don't go figure this out. We're professionals. We're qualified. You're not. I mean, who are you to contradict the little emperor when he says something. Oh, by the way, this weekend, you're not supposed to be, commingling, especially if you didn't do the thing. They told people who didn't do the thing not to travel around, not to go anywhere, just stay indoors, because I mean, we've been 18 months, folks, and they're basically telling people to quarantine. WTF, Batman, it's a new version of holy crap, Batman. It's WTF, Batman. So Paul Stanley, very inspirational for me, because when I see a whole bunch of stupid, and instead of being humble and saying, well, this didn't work, you've got to do what's best for you, and you can be diplomatic. Yeah, I chose to do this, and maybe I'm better for it, but I did get really sick, and I don't know if this is for everybody. Why don't you consult with your own doctor and make a decision that way? And also find out what they're actually putting in this thing, because it's a scary list of things that are in the thing. And apparently you're not, and nobody has any intellectual curiosity. Like your local news channel, all they say is go do it, go do it. Well, how come people don't want to do it? We gave them money to do it. We gave them donuts, concert tickets, all these goodies. If they would just do it, they're given tuition discounts for kids going back to college. It's insane. They're even considering paying off student loan debt if you do it. Imagine that. It's like, talk about extortion. And it won't matter if this thing doesn't fix the problem and creates more problems. This is going to cause some people to just completely lose it. And you're seeing it in society right now. You're seeing the change in temperament, the change in tone of people. This isn't, by the way, about going to a Kiss concert anymore. People are looking to these so-called celebrities like Paul Stanley, and they're hoping that maybe they would set an example for others, but they continue to just toe the line of the establishment. I mean, whatever happened to being a rock and roll rebel? I mean, Van Morrison asks that question. I mean, Van Morrison, when you look at Van Morrison and you look at Paul Stanley, Paul Stanley, his whole career, he's out there being this crazy madman on stage. And Van Morrison is just this sort of, humble, folky, guitar playing, very good singer, but very straight-laced, no gimmicks, almost the complete opposite of what Paul Stanley is. But yet Van Morrison has more guts and thinks for himself and does critical thinking. He does more of that than all the guys in Kiss put together. So, and by the way, most of the rock world put together. All right. Yes, there are a few people, Eric Clapton and others, who've kind of, woken up, not woke, but awake. Big difference. So in any event, again, I will say this to be diplomatic and to be compassionate. Obviously, we wish Paul Stanley a full and complete recovery. Same with Gene Simmons. And we hope that Kiss gets back on tour. Even if I'm not interested in seeing Kiss, we do need some representation of rock and roll out there. Guns N' Roses got their curfew put on them out in Napa Valley last night. Pretty crazy, 10 p.m. and the concert is over, 10 p.m. In the old days, the band was just getting started at 10 p.m. You had your opening act, and then, the headliner would come out. In California, apparently, in Napa Valley, they don't like that stuff. You got to start early and you got to get done early because, it gets kind of loud. People down the street don't want to hear this loud music. And I don't know. Rock and roll has changed a lot, folks. It's everything about it. Society itself is changing, and it's really not for the better. But, we can get it back if we all just collectively say no. And not enough people are doing that, though, at least here in the United States. They get it in France. They get it in the UK. They're starting to wake up in Australia because that's turning into a penal colony again, the way it started. So people need to do something. Canada, you guys, I know it's really bad up there. In any event, thanks for watching. And don't forget the best way to support this channel, Patreon, $1 a month. I do have conversations with people daily over there. I try to get to everybody. Some new patrons coming on board for this content, and just for the fact that, I provide a little bit of entertainment, I guess, especially when I start, bashing on some of these rock musicians. I'd like to get back to just talking about music every day. It would be easier, and I guess I could do that. But if they're not doing it in the rock media, why should I have to do it too? I've heard this line is that, well, just talk about music. Used to lecture people about that all the time. Well, the world is kind of crashing in. So I can either ignore that, or I can, engage. And so I've decided to engage a little bit. All right, folks, see you soon.